Phil LeBeau joins us now. He's going to dig into the numbers with Mary Barra. Phil.
Thank you, David. Let's bring in Mary Barra from the GM headquarters. Mary, you heard David there. He set it up well. You had monster numbers for the second quarter. You're raising your guidance for the full year. But the stock is selling off right now, and I think in part because people are wondering about the additional cost cuts that you guys are putting in place, as well as pullback on capital expenditures, and the question of whether or not you're hitting perhaps a bit of a rough patch over the next year or so as you may be slow to ramp up EVs. What do you say to that narrative that seems to be circulating a little bit out there?
Well, you know, if you look at our EV ramp up, we said we were going to produce 50,000 in the first half of this year, 100,000 in the second, and then cumulatively to 400,000 by middle of next year. We are still on track to do that. And the reception we're seeing from the products, especially now with the Lyric starting to get into more and more customers' hands, and that'll ramp dramatically between now and the end of the year, as will the Hummer. Nothing has fundamentally changed. We just went back in and looked to see how do we be more cost effective and demonstrate cost discipline across all areas of the business, and how do we really make the capital that we are investing do more. But we still intend to cover 90% of segments in especially EVs. We pretty much do that already today in ICE by 2030. So we're on track to our plan. We're just going to keep executing and keep making sure we earn customers because we've got the right products.
Mary, you guys announced that you're going to be putting in manual battery module assembly stations at a number of your facilities because of a problem with one of your suppliers when it comes to the Ultium battery platform. How much will that slow down the ramp? I know you're targeting 100,000 EVs produced in the second half of this year, which has been your target, but that has to be a headwind.
Well, clearly, we're disappointed that the module assembly, the actual assembly line for that has not been on time, and that is causing us issues. We're doing both automated lines and manual lines, and the manual lines are something that we'll be using in many places, especially as we bring more and more plants up with EV capacity. But we're also bringing automated lines in as well, and frankly, high-speed automated lines. So we're doing both to not only deal with the situation we're in now, but to make sure we stay ahead of module production as we have a ramp on our way to 1 million EVs in North America by 2025.
Mary, good morning. Jim Cramer. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you.
There is a UAW president. His name is Shawn Fain. And Shawn Fain is using language that I've not heard in 30 years. I think that the recommendation that he has from what he feels his rank and file one is for really kind of a retaliation against multiple years of the UAW working closely with you to be able to make it so everybody wins. What are you going to do? Is the rhetoric just rhetoric, or is there going to be a strike, Mary?
Well, we're doing everything possible, Jim, to make sure we're getting to the table, which discussions have already started with the UAW, that we get to the real issues. And, we want to do the right thing for our employees. If you think about our manufacturing employees specifically, what they've done over the last several years of getting back to our assembly plants quickly, following safety protocols as we move through COVID, and frankly, the strong demand we're seeing for our products. So, they're responding to that as well. We think we can find an agreement that does the right thing for our employees, but also allows GM to remain competitive. And that's what we're going to work on. And, again, we're having those conversations. So in my mind, we can get to something that meets everyone's needs without a strike. Obviously, there's two parties involved, but that's the path that we're on and the mission that we're moving forward with.
Well, one of the things that is disturbing if you're a shareholder of GM is that UAW leadership was at the White House for meeting to brief senior staff in the position recently at the West Wing. I mean, it's almost as if we have a union president who says, you know what, we agree with Mr. Fain. The unions haven't gotten a good deal here. And yet, Mary, I think that would be hard-pressed to think that the unions don't have the best deal in the country of most blue-collar workers.
Well, we're very proud of the compensation package that we have for our manufacturing employees. We think it is very strong. There's always aspects of it that we can look to improve, and again, while we're maintaining our competitiveness. So we're trying to make sure that all parties involved and people with interest understand where we're at, have the facts. But again, I think we can get to an agreement without a strike, and that's what we're going to work hard to do.
Mary, it's Phil again. On your EV cadence of new models, you've got the Silverado going into production this year, the Chevy Blazer, the Equinox, especially on the lower end of the market. Now you're bringing back the Bolt, which you just announced today. Do you believe that lower end of the market, and I'm talking about sub 40,000 as far as an EV, is that the growth target or the growth area in terms of EV adoption in this country?
Absolutely. And when you put that in hand with charging, because what we need to do is win consumers that only own one vehicle and that are price sensitive. And so by having not only the Equinox, the Chevrolet Equinox EV in that space, as well as the Chevrolet Bolt that is just really strong from a consumer perspective, that gives us the ability to offer some choice in that space at two different price points, but both on the lower end. And then with everything we've done from a charging perspective, allows customers to choose an EV because they can have it as their vehicle for everything, especially with a robust charging network.
Mary, you've been to China in the last couple of months. I know you guys have a huge business there. And yet everybody is looking at the incredibly competitive market when it comes to electric vehicles there, the price cutting that is going on there. Do you see that ending anytime soon, or do you think this is a case where we're going to see the Chinese automakers continue to be extremely aggressive when it comes to cutting prices?
Well, we need to compete in that market. We have very strong low-cost products coming out of our joint venture with Wuling. From an affordability perspective, as we get to some of the higher ends, especially Buick and Cadillac, you're working to make sure we have the right price points, but also the right vehicles to compete. And my expectation is it's going to remain a very competitive market. When you look at the fact that there's over 100 new Chinese domestic EV automakers, there's only 50% capacity utilization right now. I think at some point it's got to sort. But in the meantime, we expect and we're going to be in that market and look to compete and win based on our products and on the fact that we can be efficient.